Hi there. If you've clicked on this video, then you've probably just lost a writing contest. Hello, my name is Sylvie. I am a former fanfiction author turned fiction writer, and today I just want to talk about the feelings. Basically the feelings. I've lost a writing contest yet again. I've lost many writing contests, and I'm certain you have too. I wanted to get on camera today to talk about how to get through these feelings of inadequacy with losing a contest, picking yourself up by the bootstraps, and trying again. I'm here today to teach you the tips and tricks on how to be successful in a writing contest. Because yes, dear writer, even though you may not win all of the writing contests, if you pay attention to my simple steps, eventually you will win some. I recently lost not a national, but a very high profile writing contest that I was really excited about, and it bummed me out for a while. But then I immediately picked up because, as it turns out, though I did lose that contest, I actually won a Wattpad contest. And with said Wattpad contest, I got some free swag. Some of the things I got on top of a $100 Tim Hortons gift card. I got this bag filled with a bunch of goodies. So let's go through them on camera, shall we? A book. A book. I have not read this book. Is it good? Let me know in the comments if you've read it. But I got a free book. Save me some money. A bookmark. Smells like that bookmarky goodness. A coloring book. Okay. But ooh! Colored pencils. Yeah! And the best thing of all, this little mug thingy apparatus where I could have my coffee or cold drinks. Yeah, I'm so excited to win. Winning that contest made me realize I've actually won a lot of contests. Just these past 2 months, I've actually won several Wattpad contests. And while most of those contests didn't result in the goodies that I showed earlier, it let me believe that it is possible to win contests. And so I'd like to take this time today to go through some tips that can help you succeed when you enter your next writing contest. Please stay until the end because I guarantee you the last tip is definitely the most valuable. So tip number 1 in succeeding in entering a writing contest is follow the rules. Cannot stress that enough. You have to follow the rules when you enter a writing contest. In many instances, I can use the writing platform Vocal Media as an example. You're going to see a contest that gets tens of thousands of entrants. So there has to be a human element to going through and selecting entrants for the shortlist to eventually get down to a pool of whoever gets a prize at the end. So if there's 10,000 entrants and they're sifting through quickly just trying to find the stories that they can give to the judges to actually rank, they don't have time to deal with your entry if it's 1,000 words over the word count limit. Or if they specifically ask that they want 12-point Garamond font and you give 20-point Comic Sans. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that. If you follow the guidelines, you've already made your entry stand out against a huge majority of the entrants, because I guarantee you, if you actually took the time to go through a lot of the entries of some of these writing contests, you'd be surprised how many blatantly ignore the rules. So just by following the guidelines, you've already put yourself up in the upper echelon of participants that can potentially win a prize. So follow the rules, always. My second tip for you is to make sure that you stand out. You have to stand out. You have to make your mark when you're entering a writing contest. Once again, you are going to be thrust into a pool of many different entrants. And a lot of these entrants are going to be the same or interchangeable. And the judges are going to get fatigued from looking over every single contest entry. If you have that one entry that does a little bit different, you're going to stick out in the minds of the judge. Say you're doing a contest entry and the theme is, I don't know, the sun. Perhaps there'll be tons of entrants that do a story about the literal sun, space exploration, something with a sci-fi lean. You could potentially stand out if you think outside the box of the theme. Maybe instead of the sun, you do a sunflower, or perhaps you do a story about solar power, or you do a story of something similar to the sun that represents the sun but is totally different. If you do something that 99% of the other writers aren't going to write about, that makes your entry stand out to the judges. Another point I'd like to give, and this is primarily for writing contests where you're required to create a cover image. Put some effort into the cover image. You could spend all this time writing your story and writing your title and then just slap up something generic and boring that the judges are going to gloss over because their eyes don't zero in on your entry. You need to put as much focus and care in your cover image as you put in your story. So when the judges go through, they'll be like, whoa, that looks interesting. What's that about? And then you've grabbed their attention, you've got them, now impress them with your words. But above all else, be it your writing, be it the artwork you use for the writing, you've got to stand out. You've got to stand out. You've got to stand out. And the last tip that I'd like to provide, and I think it's the most important, the Paramount tip. If you find that you continuously enter contests that have a big pool of entrants, a big pond, if you will, of all these various fishes, then perhaps it would be wise to hop into a smaller pond. I find I have the most success with contests that have a small participant pool. Now that usually comes with perhaps there's no official prize with the contest. Perhaps it's just bragging rights, but sometimes there are a small token. Just last year, I entered a local writing contest and I won a bunch of wine. It wasn't money, it wasn't gift cards, but it was something that I still enjoyed. And because a lot of people were essentially turned off or not attracted to the contest, that left a much smaller pool for me to compete in. Now, I'm not saying to compete because you don't feel confident in your work. Far from it. There are many people who enter contests and they have amazing writing, but they're not going to stand out in a pool of tens of thousands of entrants. If you want your writing to stand out, you've got to move yourself into a place where there's much less competition. So rather than there being hundreds of excellent stories, perhaps there's only 10 and you're one of them. It just makes it easier for your story to get in front of the right eyes so that you can succeed in winning the writing contest. And so those are my 3 tips on how you can succeed in winning a writing contest. I hope you've enjoyed this advice. Please give a like and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have any other interesting tips on how someone could win at a writing contest, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye-bye. My second tip for you is to make sure that you stand out. It's like that Goofy movie. I'm gonna stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout it loud. Till mine is the only face you'll see. I'm gonna stand out, yeah, stand out, yeah, stand out, woo. Till mine is the only face you'll see. I'm gonna stand out till you notice me.